A former AEW champion wants to wrestle a current WWE star, and we have some worrying news as a popular WWE wrestler has reported threats to the police from a fan. But first, a huge match has been confirmed for this weekend's AEW Double or Nothing. Last night's episode of AEW Dynamite would open up with a cage match between Wardlow and Shawn Spears, with MJF acting as the special guest referee. If Wardlow managed to walk away as the victor against all odds, he would finally get his long-awaited match against his former boss at the pay-per-view. Well, in the end, Wardlow would manage to secure the win after Spears would accidentally strike MJF with a steel chair, allowing Wardlow to cancel out the man advantage. Another referee would then run down to the ring to count the fall after a powerbomb symphony. Double or Nothing will see the first ever match between MJF and Wardlow in what I believe is AEW's longest brewing rivalry, with the two men formerly being aligned before Wardlow cost MJF his match at Revolution against CM Punk, putting an end to MJF's rule over him. Whilst in storyline, Wardlow is technically under contract with MJF, he will be released should he win the match, allowing him to officially join the AEW roster, breaking free from the shackles of his former mentor. But what did you make of the cage match last night, and will Wardlow win once again at the pay-per-view? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, New Japan Pro Wrestling stars have invaded All Elite Wrestling. Last night's AEW Dynamite would see the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships on the line when Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, collectively known as FTR, would defend their belts against former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Champions Roppongi Vice, which is the team of Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. The match was a solid showcase of tag team wrestling, although a decisive winner couldn't be found when another New Japan team would rush the ring, leading to a no contest. The moment in question would see the United Empire's Great-O-Khan and Jeff Cobb attack both teams before grabbing the ROH tag belts, making their intentions clear. The United Empire is a stable that formed in October 2020 and is led by former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Will Ospreay, with other members including Aaron Henare, Francesca Akira, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, and TJ Perkins, and they predominantly appear on New Japan Strong and for Revolution Pro in the UK. It's currently unknown if other members of the group will be joining them on AEW television, although many fans would particularly like to see Will Ospreay show up at some point in the future. Either way, it seems O-Khan and Cobb have their eye on the Ring of Honor Tag Gold, with them likely to get a shot sometime in the near future. Next up, a brand new belt is coming to AEW. Elsewhere on last night's Dynamite, there was a backstage promo from American Top Team as Dan Lambert addressed Sammy Guevara, Tay Conti, and Frankie Kazarian, who would smash Scorpio Sky's AEW TNT title belt with a sledgehammer last week. Lambert would tell the couple that they are one step ahead of them, as he has already ordered a brand new custom belt for Scorpio, with the belt design set to be revealed this Friday on AEW Rampage. The TNT title has undergone a number of subtle colour changes since its debut in March 2020, and it's currently unknown if this will be the case this time around or if the belt will see a complete revamp. Because it's a pay-per-view week, Rampage will air live this week from Las Vegas, Nevada, so the design has yet to leak. But do you want AEW to stick with the current design with new colours, or should they go for a complete redesign? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, let's look at the latest from the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. AEW Dynamite last night would see two semi-final matches, one for the men's bracket and one for the women's bracket. The first would see former AEW Women's World Champion Britt Baker take on the popular Toni Storm for a spot in the finals at Double or Nothing this Sunday. Unfortunately for Toni, Baker's buddy Jamie Hayter would get involved in the match, leading to a distraction before Britt gained an advantage by holding onto the ropes during a pinfall, resulting in an unfair victory. This means Britt Baker is the first women's finalist in the tournament, with her securing a spot at Double or Nothing this weekend, and her opponent will be named during Friday's live edition of Rampage, where Ruby Soho battles Chris Statlander to earn their spot in the final. As for the men's side of things, the main event of Dynamite would see the undisputed Elite's Kyle O'Reilly take on ROH World Television Champion Samoa Joe in a very physical contest. In the end, O'Reilly would be be put to sleep when Joe locked in a Coquina clutch, with the Samoan submission machine now heading to Double or Nothing. After the match, fellow finalist Adam Cole would head out onto the stage to stare down Joe, with the two former NXT champions going head to head. But what are your predictions for the two finals of the Owen Hart Cup? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up has the cover star for WWE 2K23 been revealed. It was recently reported by Sports Gamers Online that once WWE knew Cody Rhodes was returning to the company at WrestleMania 38, they reached out to the WWE 2K series developer Visual Concepts to try and include the American Nightmare in an upcoming DLC. A person close to the development of the game would reportedly tell Sports Gamers Online, WWE tried, but it was quickly shot down. They knew it was unlikely, but you don't know for sure unless you ask. The report notes that due to the time it takes to create characters for the game, there wasn't enough time to include Rhodes this time around. With that said, wrestling podcaster James Stewart would propose the idea of Cody Rhodes not only featuring in the next installment of the game, WWE 2K23, but that he should be the cover star. Rhodes would respond to this on Twitter, hinting that something could already be in the works, and he would tweet, "I don't know the talented folks at WWE Games, but I'm a pretty decent gambler and I would bet that they're working very hard on something special for pro wrestling fans." It seems for now that Cody is the favourite to feature on the cover of next year's WWE 2K23 game, with there being plenty of time between now and the expected release in early 2023. Next up, Will Ospreay has named who he'd like to face at the Forbidden Door event. Next month, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling will host their first ever joint show from Chicago, Illinois, leading fans to speculate what dream matches they could see at the show. Well, earlier this week, top New Japan star Will Ospreay would speak on the Rest Things podcast, where he was asked about the event and who he'd like to face were he to score a match on the card. Ospreay revealed that whilst he'd love to wrestle the likes of Bryan Danielson and CM Punk, it's the homegrown wrestlers that really interest him the most, and he said, "I would like a challenge, and what I mean by that is I would like a homemade guy. Like someone that didn't come from NXT, that didn't come from New Japan, because I think that's the challenge. And I do like a sick match with someone that was born and made in AEW, Jungle Boy. I'd love to tear it up with him." On top of the names mentioned, Ospreay would name drop Dante Martin, who is one of the company's most talented high flyers, which could lead to an interesting matchup. With two of his United Empire stablemates invading AEW last night, perhaps this opens the door for Will Ospreay to follow suit, finding himself an opponent on the other side. But which AEW wrestler do you want to see go one-on-one with Will Ospreay? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, a former AEW champion wants to wrestle a current WWE superstar. This week, Owen Hart Foundation tournament finalist Dr. Britt Baker DMD would take part in an interview with Forbes where she was asked about dream opponents when the topic of Sasha Banks came up. Baker would name Banks as her dream match, and she stated, "Since it's a pretty hot topic right now, I'm gonna say Sasha Banks. I think she is one of the top draws in all of WWE. She's a superstar. She's such a good wrestler. She's definitely somebody I would love to wrestle." Right now, both Naomi and Sasha Banks are a topic of discussion, with their future in WWE very much up in the air right now. Both wrestlers would recently walk out before an episode of WWE Raw due to creative disagreements, with them now being suspended and having been stripped of their women's tag team championships. With that said, the dream match between Sasha Banks and Britt Baker is not possible right now, but it is increasingly looking more likely, with the boss seemingly heading for the exit, whether that be through a release or the expiration of her contract. And finally, we end with a worrying story as a popular WWE star has reported threats from a fan to the police. Former women's champion Alexa Bliss is known to have an avid fan base, with one fan in particular taking things too far. On Tuesday night, Bliss would share a screenshot of her responding to a fan on Instagram, informing the individual that she has passed on evidence to the police, with the man said to have threatened to shoot both Bliss and her husband, Ryan Cabrera. The user JPeak5402 would first reply to one of Alexa's posts and said, "Do you have anything to say?" Bliss would then respond to the individual and said, "I do have something to say. I saw the DM you sent to people saying you were going to shoot me and my husband yourself. Those screenshots have been turned in." This is no doubt concerning news for wrestling fans, and hopefully the user can be dealt with by the police. And as we've seen in the past with the recent Sonya Deville house invasion, things like this need to be sorted out before they go too far. But hopefully, as I say, it can be sorted out in due course. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 things that you didn't know about AEW's Hook.